What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I am joined by my co-host, my sister,
Easy,
and my brother, Derek.
What's up, everybody?
And today, we're going to be talking about mostly the Disney investors meeting. Well, the Marvel portion of the Disney investors meeting. There's a lot of interesting information dropped there. So we're going to be going over a few of the trailers, some of the announcements that Marvel had. They have a lot of stuff going on. So we'll be checking that out and getting our thoughts on that today. So, I mean, it's better than a Comic-Con announcement, I guess, right?
it was basically a Comic-Con announcement.
Yeah, pretty much a Comic-Con announcement. So we'll go over the trailers a little bit later because there's quite a few things to cover with those. I'm going to start with some of the other things. They mentioned Doctor Strange in the the Multiverse of Madness. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It said it will introduce America Chavez. I picked that out from what he said. Kevin Feige said in the meeting, and America Chavez is Miss America. And I thought this was a bit interesting. I looked up some stuff on her character. She has the power to travel the multiverse, which is probably how they're going to be doing that in that movie.
Okay, can someone explain to me what the multiverse is?
Well, multiverse theory. No, basically, it's saying that, like, okay, a major decision that it's different. Like, there's infinite worlds, and every time like a different decision is made with, like, let's say I decide to take this job and not that job, then that makes a parallel universe, and one where I took the one job and the other one where I took that one. So in the Marvel, basically it gives them an excuse to have different stories. Like, what if Spider-Man was Black and Latino? And so you have Miles Morales. Now he's in the main universe, but that's basically how they explain their multiverse.
Okay, so it basically allows them to have stories that's not canon.
Yeah, and if it's good enough, they will put it into the canon.
Okay, and so then she has
So that's why.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I was going to ask you about this when they announced this. She has the ability to travel between these different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. I just feel like this is I guess I understand a different world. I just feel like this is going to get real confusing and real jumbled.
It depends on how they handle it. I don't think they're. I mean,
Well, you got to look at it as. What I was going to say is you have to look at it as in the comic books. They have stories like this all the time. It's just because we do not read the comics regularly or follow them regularly, we may just periodically read of a character here and there or a story arc. A lot of times things are constantly changing. And one thing that may happen with Spider-Man may not be in the original canon and storyline. It could be from a Spider-Man from a different universe, and we thinking, because we don't follow it all the time, that this is in the same story or the same universe, but this was a totally different universe, even though it could be the same character. So like in Enter the Spider-Verse, you had that old Peter Parker, but then it was like a younger Peter Parker, and then all the other different Spider-Mans. So it's kind of like that. I think you will understand it a little better with Daisy when in DC with Batman, and how like they restarted the story, and then it was a different storyline led into Batman, and then they changed it, and then, oh, this should be with the original story. So it's kind of like that with Marvel. Well, so like in DC, they got the new 52. It's kind of like that with Marvel.
They're beyond that now, I think.
Yeah, they're old now.
Here's kind of what I guess my concern is that I don't want the movies to have a bunch of different worlds. Like, how do you keep track? You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Yeah. I don't think that's what they're going to do. Like, I don't think we're going to get a bunch of different movies in different universes. I think they're going to be consolidating some things. It allows you to do some interesting movies, but I think the only thing that's probably going to explore this is Doctor Strange, maybe the WandaVision TV series, and looks like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's doing the most. Like, there's a lot going on in that movie.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But yeah, it's.
I feel like it gives them more open leeway with their TV shows, though.
Yeah, and TV is a bit different because not you don't have to follow it, but I think the movies are going to be in the main MCU world. Like, you're not going to get a bunch. I mean, even the stuff with like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, whatever. I doubt like that movie will have a lot. Like, I feel like it's going to be mainly in this one, and maybe they travel to a few different universes for a short period of time in the movie, but it won't be a main part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like it will be that way. But that being said, since we were mentioning Spider-Man, Kevin Feige did say WandaVision and Spider-Man will connect directly to Doctor Strange. Now, we know all of Marvel connects, but he made a point to mention that those two things will be directly connected. And with the introduction of Miss America, that does one thing. For one, I think Wanda is starting off, because WandaVision is going to be first. She's starting to mess with her powers, and this is probably going to kick off the whole multiverse thing.
Yeah, and I read that in the comments, Doctor Strange is her doctor, so that makes sense. He's probably going to be the one to kind of help her stop this nonsense with whatever she's doing with her reality.
Yeah.
So he's probably the one that's going to help her with that. And it's like in Spider-Man, it's already confirmed to have a bunch of multiverses, since there's a ton of people in that movie.
Yeah, let's talk about Spider-Man. I think that confirms the Spider-Verse. Like, that's solidified now. We all thought it was going to be, but this is definitely going to be a live-action Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah. Is anyone concerned by that? And I say that because, like, the Spider-Man movies are good, but I feel like sometimes the director doesn't really know what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in a movie like this, you gotta know where you're going with it, because there's so much happening.
Yeah, you definitely have to have it down. Like in Endgame, they had it down and they focused on what they wanted to focus on, so you didn't really get... I mean, there were some things to point out, but like you didn't really get bogged down with the nature of the weird science, I guess I should say.
Yeah. So I don't know how much Marvel is involved in the production of this movie. I'm just hoping that there's someone somewhere to just kind of keep it on track, because the Spider-Man movies tend to be like, oh yeah, he really didn't think this through.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's all over the place, I feel like.
Well, I did
just with the cast.
I did read something, because we know, so Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, we mentioned before, but they are confirmed to be a part of the movie. Doc Ock's going to be in the movie. Jamie Foxx, Electro is going to be in the movie. But then now I forgot where I read it. It came out, it was like a lot of these are going to be small cameos. So you're not going to have Doc Ock villain and Electro villain and all, like, just tons of people. I feel like it's going to be like, oh, we went to Tobey Maguire's universe and that Doc Ock was there, something like that. So maybe a few scenes, and just reining in. I mean, obviously we're going to be traveling to different universes, but I feel like it's going to be more focused. Like Daisy said, like, you need a focused story if you're going to do this, because it can get off the rails pretty easily. So I guess we hope for that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like that, that makes sense. If you can pop in and out of a world and you have those people in it to say, like, hey, this is where this guy is. That makes sense. So that's what I'm hoping. They just really started production on it. So
yeah. And I don't know, like you can give Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield a slightly bigger role. Like if they travel with him to another world and help him out or something like that in the final battle, I think that's fine. But like we can't have just.
I mean, if it's like Enter the Spider-Verse, like the movie. I mean, yeah, a lot of Spider-Mans made cameo, but the main Spider-Man was the older Spider-Man, which that would be Tobey Maguire's character.
How much? I mean, both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire is like 40. Like, how much fighting they about to do?
Stunt double.
Oh god.
I mean, yeah, I'm like, come on,
just gotta put him in a suit.
Older actors have stunt doubles all the time in their fighting scene.
My question is, can Tobey Maguire get in shape for the part?
Oh wow!
But does he need to be in shape? If
no,
right?
Yeah,
that old Spider-Man was not in shape.
So he get an out of shape Spider-Man. Do it. Let's do it. My question is, will we introduce Gwen Stacy in this? The Spider-Woman Gwen Stacy.
Oh,
who's Gwen Stacy again? Did she die?
In Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, yes, she died. But just like in Spider-Verse, she's also a spider character in some universes.
And wait a minute. You know what we need? If they're going to do this, we need Miles Morales.
Oh, yes, please. Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Let Sony do what they're going to do with Spider-Man and then just make Miles Morales the main Spider-Man.
He has to be like the most popular Spider-Man right now. Yeah. For like 2-3 years running now.
I mean, you already have him in the universe, basically, so we might as well just go ahead and do it.
And we'll have a trilogy of the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I mean, like, Tom Holland, I like him as Spider-Man. We'll have his trilogy, and then we can have Miles Morales.
We'll go to the next one. Yep, that should happen.
Yeah.
Although, he's got to be in more movies. Like the Tony Stark thing. His trilogy was over, but you have him in the other movies until you kill the character.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like a lot of these characters will be popping up more frequently in other movies.
Yeah. They are introducing a lot of characters.
They are.
I'm excited, but there's a part of me that's like a little afraid. Like, is this too much?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like our cartoons that we grew up on. It's the standard 5 or 6 characters, and then like they introduce a character, an episode here, an episode here. Then it's like toward the end, they just pop in 5 or 6 characters in the Avengers cartoon, and it's just like it's all over the place. And then deep down, you're like, okay, this is not going to last too much longer because they just throwing stuff.
Well, that's how you know a cartoon's getting ready to end. Every cartoon, when there's a bunch of crossovers, like this is about to end.
Yeah, true.
I feel like the writers don't care at that point. But no, I think the positive part is most of this stuff is on TV or on the streaming service. So I do
like that.
I think that the movies get to still have a solid footing without getting bogged down with so much of it, because you can throw all this stuff at Disney Plus. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if a character's bad, you don't have to readdress them again.
Yeah, but I feel like at this rate, with the amount of stuff that they're pushing, a lot of this is not going to work. I mean, right now they have like an A+ track record. They're doing the most right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what doesn't work.
I feel like them rushing through this phase too. It's like, I understand because of COVID, their 3-year plan is pushed to 2, but I feel like it shouldn't be rushed through. I'm just like, everyone is experiencing the same thing. Like, there's no blockbuster movies that's coming out. Even your average movies, they're not coming out as much as they would have been. So I feel like if your plan in the beginning was only to release 3 movies or 2 movies, I feel like they should stick to that. I mean, I'm excited that it's going to be 4 movies supposedly in each next 2 years, but I'm worried that are we going to get the quality of movies?
Yeah, you talking about movies that is already done, so that doesn't matter. These movies they have to do 4 because they have a schedule.
The first 4 were.
I think it's a bit different with Marvel doing 4 movies because it's not like, oh hey, Star Wars, and we're gonna come out with 3 movies this year, and like it's not exactly the same because all the movies are different, and like I don't know, know what I'm saying, but I feel like they have more range, like more of an opening to work within, so they could do multiple movies without it bogging down the studio.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's rushed. I feel like these are things that they were already planning. It's just that they lost a year, basically.
Yeah. And you got to answer to the people with the money in their pockets. So
yeah, and then it's like for some of these, since everything is connected, it's like we can't do Doctor Strange if we don't have Spider-Man. Well, it's the other way. We can't do Spider-Man if Doctor Strange doesn't come out.
Right.
So it's like you have to release these movies since they went down the road of everything being connected to each other.
Yeah.
They all have to come out.
And so far, they haven't messed it up. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Phase 4 got me kind of... Especially since I was going to wait until we talked about Endgame, which is, I don't know, however far away from this. It's like I'm excited for Phase 4, but at the same time, I don't know if I'm all in, because one of the beauty of, the first 3 phases was that is how much you like the characters and how much you became invested in them. And I feel like there's no one in Phase 4 that I care about. And like even the new people that's coming along, I kind of feel like, yeah, that sounds cool, but I feel like at the same time, I'm not going to really care about you.
I mean, yeah, I think that's the point of some of this, which is why Phase 4 doesn't have a big thing at the end of it, because they need to get you to care about these characters the same way they did the first 3 with Thor and Captain America and Tony Stark. So, yeah, I think they have time to build that up, because Phase 4 is not ending in an Endgame type of battle,
Right, but also what I also think about it, there was like a natural friendship with the first 6 people. Like they became friends in real life.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
I don't know we're gonna get that with these next. I mean, maybe, who knows who you become friends with, but I feel like that definitely helped.
Who do we have?
Brie Larson.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Quarterback. Tom Holland.
Tom
Holland's cool.
Chris Hemsworth.
He's on his way out. That's not going to count.
Yeah, there's going to be somebody else.
That's going to be someone else. So you can't even count like Mackie and Sebastian Stan because they're also on their way out.
Well, no, I thought they were the replacements.
You think they're not going to do nothing after Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think they're going to show up in an Avengers movie?
They will.
I don't know.
Yeah, they are. I feel like they are.
Well, what if?
Remember, it's not going to be an Avengers movie. It's going to be kind of like Captain America: Civil War. Like I feel like it's going to be Captain Marvel: The Invasion, and everybody's going to be in the movie.
Yeah. We know that, but I thought that contract was getting ready to be up.
Yeah, that mean nothing.
Yeah, because I thought Mackie came out and said that he will be appearing in more movies.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Sebastian Stan, we gotta think he's been a part of this since the beginning.
Right, so I feel like they're both on their way out. So again, you have Brie Larson.
Maybe this is also where we're gonna have like a slight lull, like in Phase 2. Like Phase 2, not so many of those movies, just like it was okay, but they did introduce characters.
Yeah, I was like, we don't know. We haven't seen some of these new characters work together, and it can still come out well. You just gotta give it time. It hasn't happened yet, so. I mean, I'm pretty sure Black Widow is her sister's gonna replace her or something from that movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think she is going to be the new Black Widow. What's her name? Elena something or another?
Elena something that I don't know. Yep, that one. And then what if, I know you don't like Fantastic Four, but what if we get Emily Blunt and John Krasinski?
I don't like the Fantastic Four. I think John Krasinski will be a great Reed Richards. The Fantastic Four still suck.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as characters go and actors being able to build a family and like make you care for characters, because let's admit, what Marvel did was make us care for characters that we generally didn't care about. I know you liked Captain America, but before the Marvel movies, I despised Captain America, and now he's one of my favorite superheroes because of Marvel movies.
I did too. I did too.
You're right about that, because I didn't like Iron Man.
Yeah, I didn't like Iron Man. Thor? Who cared about Thor? Like,
I still don't care about Thor, but yeah.
I mean, so I think Marvel did a good job of doing stuff like that. So Fantastic Four, you don't like them now, but who's to say if you get those actors in the role, Marvel puts out a good movie, that we're not feeling sad when Reed Richards dies at the end of Phase 6 or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I like your idea, Darren. I feel like if Fantastic Four, if they do it right and they like it, I think Fantastic Four will be the characters that people will grow into and wants to follow. And we got to think, I mean, we don't have Chadwick no more. He had a big following. And so that's a huge...
He's going to be a big part of that. He was a big part of that.
Yeah. So
I think that was the three. You had Brie Larson, Chadwick Boseman, and Tom Holland was going to be your three superheroes.
Y'all like that combination? I don't like that combination.
Yeah.
I think anything with Chadwick in it was going to be good. So
well, I'm not saying not movie good. I'm talking about as people chemistry.
Oh. Yeah, I guess Tom is a little young for them. I don't know. He's got good chemistry with Sebastian Stan and what's his face?
Yeah, but they're not all in the same movie though.
That's true.
So I don't know. I'm kind of concerned about how all these people are going to mesh together. Yeah. Not so much as in character wise, but just I just feel like their chemistry can bleed over into the movies, into the TV shows.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm not all in.
All right.
Well, we had these same ideas when these movies first started coming out.
No, I didn't.
And it worked. I honestly, I feel like chemistry will come together if the actors are really into the roles that they are playing.
And if you have good directors and stuff like that.
And they're getting along with directors, the writers, I feel like it will be good.
Yeah. But I was going to mention more, speaking of additional characters. So this isn't confirmed, but apparently it's been rumored that Charlie Cox is going to return as Matt Murdock in that same Spider-Man movie that we were just talking about. And he was going to represent Peter in court, since we know the last Spider-Man movie ended with Peter being blamed for the death of Mysterio.
Which, I mean, honestly, that makes sense. If Peter needs a lawyer within the Marvel, it has to be Daredevil, right?
Yeah, I was thinking they were going to, since they had the She-Hulk series, I thought they were going to use Jennifer Walters.
Yeah, but the rumor has it that he will also show up in the She-Hulk show.
Makes sense as well. I mean, if she's going to be in the courtroom,
they have, rival agencies,
law firms.
They do. Yeah.
So they go against each other a lot.
Yeah, those are called law firms. You know. I mean, it makes sense, and honestly, I kind of hope you only see him as a lawyer and not as Daredevil, especially since this movie is doing so much.
Yeah, well, I think because of the nature of the movie,
I think so.
It's only going to be Matt Murdock.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
What I'm hoping that if he comes back, then we also get Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah, Spider-Man 4, Kingpin. Let's go.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a super rumor right now.
Then you can have Daredevil in Spider-Man 4.
Do you have what in Spider-Man 4?
Daredevil in Spider-Man 2.
Oh, yeah. That's
well,
fine.
no, you know what? No Spider-Man 4. it do the same thing with Tony Stark. Spider-Man just ends up in everybody's movies, and it's not far-fetched because Spider-Man does that anyway. So whatever movie it is, Spider-Man's in it.
Yeah. Because in the comic book, Spider-Man has the most team-ups than any other superhero, counting Marvel and DC.
I mean, it makes sense.
He's the number one.
All these heroes in New York, like, how do they not work together?
I'm trying to figure out how New York is not the safest city.
They don't work together, but it's funny. They don't work together, but everybody works with Spider-Man. It's fun. It's weird.
Yep. First X-Men movie with Spider-Man.
Because you never see the X-Men team up with Fantastic Four.
That's true.
Ew. Why would they ever?
That doesn't even sound good. I don't want to watch that.
No.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It
well,
doesn't
no,
sound
in their
good at all.
super crossover events, they do. Well, they go against each other, I guess. I don't know. Didn't they in that one Phoenix where Cyclops was a Phoenix or whatever?
X-Men don't get along with the Avengers. The Fantastic Four is always on the side of the Avengers.
Well, yeah, because Reed Richards is a D-bag.
Yes,
Does
he
the
is.
X-Men get along with anybody?
No. Spider-Man.
No. Yeah. Just Spider-Man.
Just Spider-Man, yeah.
But isn't him and Wolverine
But
always
it's funny
fighting each other?
because
No,
Beast
really.
and Wolverine is part of the Avengers.
But only those two.
Yeah.
And the Maximoffs.
Yeah.
But they're not members of the X-Men, are they?
Well, technically, no.
No.
Okay.
No, they're not.
Yeah. But I have interesting news on other Daredevil characters in the future. We'll talk about that. But yeah, Spider-Man does team up with everyone. I'm going to go over some of our other news here. Some short ones. Shang-Chi has a release date. It's July 9th, 2021. We'll see how well that works out for us in 2021, since 2020 will never end. I guess 2021 is just going to be a year from now. We're just going to redo 2020 next year. Yeah.
So is that going to be the second movie then now? It's going to be Widow.
Yes, after Black Widow.
Black Widow and then Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Then Eternals.
Yes.
What are we missing?
Yeah.
Spider-Man? No. Yeah, Spider-Man.
No.
Spider-Man.
We skipped Doctor Strange, right? So wouldn't it be...
Strange. Did they have a release date
Oh,
for that?
right. Yeah. It's supposed to be in December. It said there's no set date in December, but it says December.
It has to be because Spider-Man is 2022.
Okay. So we got that. Captain Marvel 2 has a new director, Nia DaCosta.
I saw that. Very interesting. I'm kind of for that.
Why does that name sound familiar, y'all?
She did. Oh man, I forgot what she did.
I looked up the work she did, and she's kind of a newish director. Like, she's done other stuff, but as to directing, she's kind of new to it. She directed Candyman, which has yet to come out.
The new one by Jordan Peele, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
not into horror movies, but look like it's going to make money.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch Candyman, but I'm like, that's interesting for Captain Marvel. Wonder why they went with that director. But I would like to say, I'm just gonna say that it's because of our review of Captain Marvel that they changed the director. Because we pointed out how the directing was bad in that movie, and that was pretty much the main thing. That was the problem that you can see throughout that movie.
Yeah, I'm thinking everyone had the same thought, and
excuse me.
And Marvel's like, we could do better.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but no. I'm gonna say it's us. I'm gonna take credit for it.
Okay.
Yep. So if Captain Marvel's 2 is good, we did our jobs.
Right. I want to cut it as movie bonus, Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, just put us in the credits. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to go by really, really fast at the end of the movie.
Yeah. No, they'll be like, you were in the credits. You're just behind the end credit scene. Like, your names are going up behind you.
You have to pause it and put it in slow motion.
Yeah. It's on the fade out.
Are we still talking about Captain Marvel?
Yeah, I had one more thing. What's up?
Okay, well, if you have it, you're probably going to mention what I was going to mention.
Oh, the fact that Miss Marvel will be in the movie?
Yes, along with Monica Rambeau, who makes her debut in WandaVision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen her in the WandaVision trailer.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
It's interesting.
We speculated that Miss Marvel would probably be in.
Well,
Captain
she kind of
Marvel.
gotta be, don't she? She's like obsessed with her.
Yeah. Thing is, does Miss Marvel come out before Captain Marvel 2? I think it does. So that's going to be interesting.
Let's see. Did I write that date down? I did not write that date down. Or did they give us a date?
They didn't give us a date on Miss Marvel.
Okay.
So
I guess
they must not give it to us.
The only sad part I have to say about this is there's no mention of Rogue, and I'm gonna need you to put Rogue in.
But you know what? They might be saving that for the third one. You figure the trilogy is usually the end, right? And since everyone's not a super duper fan of Brie Larson, I don't think she's gonna have something happening after her third movie. So then, doesn't it make more sense for the Rogue to show up and knock her out the game in the third movie?
Well, I wasn't saying knock her out the game in this movie, but give me a Rogue and a Mystique in this movie.
Well,
and they confused Mystique for a Skrull because she is a shapeshifter, and it's like, what? She's a mutant? What? That's crazy.
She probably going to show up in one of these million TV shows that they got going on.
Maybe.
So in the list of movies and TV shows, since there's no date on when Captain Marvel 2 will be, the Miss Marvel show is slated for late 2021.
Okay.
So it will be before the movie comes out.
Well, it has to be.
Yeah. Yeah, because Captain Marvel 2 is not coming out next year.
Captain Marvel 2 probably will be late 2022 or early 2023.
All right, then.
So you will already know about the Miss Marvel character and everything.
All right. Well, I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm interested to see what they do with it. I don't know what Captain Marvel's movies would be about. Like, she's a hard character to make a movie about. It's like Superman. Like, what do you make it about?
I don't know.
I think the invasion of the Skrulls is probably going to be the second one, and Rogue will probably be.
I'm gonna say I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what it's about, but I don't know. Maybe it'd be a scary one since they're using a Candyman director. But the Eternals will be coming out November 5th, 2021. So that's that release date for that movie. I still don't know everything that's going on with that. It is confirmed that Thanos is an Eternal or a Deviant, I guess.
Is that helpful? Does that mean did we need to know that?
Yeah.
No.
It's not a prequel either. They said it's supposed to take place after the events of Endgame.
Yeah. So
I don't know nothing about these people.
I don't either. I have no idea about nothing.
Honestly, I'm kind of thinking about skipping it.
Will we find out about the Watchers?
Well, the Watchers are What If, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that might show up in this movie too.
The Eternals seems like something. I'm going to skip the Eternals. I don't want to see that. I can already tell you I'm not going to like it.
Okay. Well, hasn't even been a trailer. You just don't know anything about it.
No, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm going with my gut here. I'm not going to like it. I'm skipping it.
All right, then. Okay. Well, moving on to the next bit of news. Hawkeye. We know they're coming out with that TV series. Now, it will introduce Maya Lopez. And they made a point of mentioning her. So I was like, well, who's Maya Lopez? Apparently, she is a very interesting character. She is a Daredevil character. So they were working on those rights that they got back from Daredevil pretty quickly, right? Because they're shooting Hawkeye right now. Yes. So she's a Daredevil character. She's deaf. So I guess like a counterpart to Daredevil. She was raised by Kingpin.
Okay.
And she has photographic reflexes. So she's like the Taskmaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except for she's deaf, so being in the dark kind of sucks for her. But
yeah. And her name is Echo.
Echo, yeah.
That is very interesting. How does she tie in with Hawkeye?
I have no idea. I feel like she doesn't, and they're just using her.
Okay.
Because she definitely.
And they said there will be cameos of.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's going to be cameos of the new Black Widow in that show too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
Yes.
Okay. Where do you get that from? I didn't hear about that.
Yes, it said that they said she is signed on to appear in the show. They mentioned the actor, Florence Pugh.
Oh, okay.
She's playing the other Black Widow, and she's cast to appear in the Hawkeye show.
Yelena. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh well, I mean, if that's right, then that all but confirms it that she's going to be replacing Black Widow.
Yep. Yeah.
I feel like we knew that already, just because Marvel didn't want to say anything. Like, we knew who's playing Kate Bishop for a year. Just because Marvel didn't say it. We knew that already. Don't release a picture of something we already knew, Marvel.
But wasn't she denying it or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Marvel probably threatened to kill her puppy or something as she talked.
Oh no, we're gonna get a John Wick going on. All right.
Okay, that's interesting. So Maya Lopez, that's interesting. I've never heard of her.
Learn about that character now. I was like, so I want to see her. I don't know when Hawkeye's coming out. Probably next year.
Yeah, since they just started.
Yeah. So you got that. She-Hulk. There was a few things mentioned here. At first, I was going to say, "Oh, will she represent Spider-Man?" But then we've got that whole other thing with Matt Murdock. So we don't know that. Abomination's going to be in there.
Right. And also Mark Ruffalo will be making appearances, which is cool.
Yeah.
Wait, he's going to be Smart Hawk, isn't he?
Oh, that's right. He's permanently Hawk.
Unless they weirdly change it up again and he made another transformation off screen.
They're not going to do that off screen. And I don't feel like they'll do it in a TV show either. You have to do that in a movie.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm not as excited. I forgot he was Smart Hawk.
Yeah, Smart Hawk is not as great. It's just not as great. Is his arm still going to be in a sling from using the Infinity Gauntlet?
I would hope it'll heal by now, right? It's been like a year.
Yeah, it should be healed.
You sure? That was Infinity damage.
But yeah, actually, I am pretty excited for the She-Hulk show. I was a She-Hulk fan as a kid, so it would be nice to get a show about her.
Did we only get a couple episodes of her in the Hawk TV show?
I was like I was a super duper fan. I even had a toy.
Yeah, I remember you had the She-Hulk toy.
Yeah,
you did.
I'm not as thrilled about Tim. I mean, Tim Roth was fine, but Abomination didn't really do anything for me. So
no, he wasn't great in that movie.
Yeah, but I guess you got to have a bad guy to fight, and there's really not too many things that she can fight, right?
Yeah, I mean, she show up, it's over, and she's not out of control like the Hawk. So
right. Yeah. But for the most part, she stay in her Hawk form, though.
Yeah, but it does seem like we're going to get a lot of her luring aspects of it, too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like Law and Order, but with a giant green woman. Yeah. They also said since she is a lawyer for superheroes, there's going to be a lot of other things, like people showing up in the show. So that could be interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
I like that concept, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe it will be like Law and Order. I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Hey, they got to have an episode start like that, though.
Doom, doom.
They hit you with it.
Don't.
Dum, 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 dum.
These are their stories.
The superheroes are blamed for deeds that they did not
Right.
commit. These are their stories. She-Hulk criminal intent. Okay. So the next thing they had, these are really small, because there's no information on them. But Secret Invasion, the Nick Fury series, apparently is Secret Invasion. I'm surprised that it's on Disney Plus. We thought they were gonna do Secret Invasion as a movie.
Yeah, I wonder if they decided not to, because Secret Invasion would have to span multiple movies.
Yeah.
And maybe they felt like it's just easier
True.
if it's a TV show, a series, instead of spanning, 5 movies.
Yeah, true. But it also would be cool to be like, what? Bucky was a Skrull. Since when?
Yeah.
Where's the real Bucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm cool because I wanted Secret Invasions, but at the same time, it's like, man, it's not a movie.
Yeah. I still want to see it.
But I think it'd be pretty. I think it would make it better spanning across TV shows, though.
I mean, it definitely makes more sense. I'm just saying what I wanted.
True.
Yeah. But maybe it will lead to a movie. But then you don't have to worry about the whole explanation of how you got there.
Kind of, not everybody gonna watch these shows. They can't just do something huge like that and then just be like, "Hey, movie."
Yeah, but don't you feel like they're leaning kind of like how Endgame was like if you vote from the very beginning, forget you then? I feel like they're leaning more to like, hey, if you're not all aboard this Disney Plus train, whatever.
I feel that way too. I really do. I feel that way. Especially like we know WandaVision and Loki and Spider-Man is tying in to Doctor Strange. Like they already came out to confirm that. I feel like that's what we're going to get a lot more of.
I feel like they feel like they have their fans and that's that.
And they just gonna make their money off that. All right. I mean, I did read Disney. We talk about them, but they have more subscribers than Netflix, like a lot more.
Oh yeah, no, they've already surpassed their 4-year outlook. Where they at now is where they thought they were going to be at year 4, which is crazy since nothing's on Disney Plus.
Nothing and everything, though.
I think it helped because of the pandemic. They have cartoons and kid shows and movies that we grew up on. So it's like you drew us in, we're watching it, and then we have our children watching it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, before this, what was Lion King on? What was Aladdin?
Nothing.
It was locked in their stupid Disney vault.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then you have Marvel. You're going to get all of those fans getting it because now you have access to all the movies. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Star Wars have a huge
Star Wars, yeah. You got that. Pixar movies. Come on.
Yeah.
And it came as a discount bundle with Hulu. How many people already had Hulu?
Yeah.
So that's probably how they did. So maybe they figured they'll make their money still. I don't know. Yeah. But another small announcement, a couple. Ironheart was confirmed. We mentioned her last week, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that is confirmed to be a show now. All right, no information on it. They had the actress, I forgot her name.
Dominique Thorne, I believe.
Okay. So, okay. I don't know. I never read Ironheart. Honestly, it doesn't look like an interesting hero, but maybe Marvel can do something with it. Then you have the Armor Wars. I thought this was kind of out of left field, but at least it gives something for War Machine to do.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I kind of hate how they described it as like what happens when Tark's tech falls into the wrong hands, and I'm like, you mean every other movie in the MCU?
Every episode, every movie.
Not only that, but like every comic book.
Yeah, like what happens? His greatest fear revealed. I'm like, this happens every other day. What are you talking about? But I am glad that Don Cheadle kind of gets a little bit of love. You know, he was always kind of like that outside looking in type deal. So good for him.
Yeah. I think that's good for Don Cheadle. Thor: Love and Thunder. I have some interesting information on that. So they mentioned Christian Bale is going to be Gore the God Butcher. That's going to be his character there.
Okay.
And so I looked up some information on him because I'm like, who's Gore the God Butcher? You know, nobody, I don't know who that is. So apparently, Gore is just this regular alien who has this vendetta against the gods, quote unquote. You know, they're not really gods, but he had like belief in gods, and then he thought they weren't real because his family died, and then he realized there were these super powerful beings in the MCU, and then so he's mad. I don't know if they're doing that in this, but yeah. So that's interesting. What's really interesting is he doesn't have any power as that alien, but he has a symbiote.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that where he gets his strength from?
Yeah. He's got some kind of sword that was made by the creator of the symbiotes, and the sword is a symbiote, so he gets his strength from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, that's a bit crazy.
So wait, Asgard is still on Earth, right?
Yes. Asgard, yes, is still on Earth.
So is all this going to be taking place in Norway? That's where they at right now?
Well, Thor, Love, and Thunder is going to be in outer space.
Oh, so they go back to space?
Yeah, because it's confirmed that Peter Quill and Nebula will be in the movie. Don't know what kind of role, but they will be in the movie.
They're just going to show up. They're not really in the movie.
Well, they would have to be in the movie, right? Because Thor left with the Guardians.
Yeah.
And then he probably going to get off the ship like, thanks, guys, bye. And then that's it.
Well, yeah. Well, because James Gunn said Thor's not going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So, you know, they have to, right. They'll probably split from each other in the Thor movie.
Okay, so this Gore guy sounds interesting. So he's just an alien who don't like the Asgardians. Okay.
Yep. Pretty much. Because he's mad because they didn't save his family.
Well, how could they save his family when they were busy dying?
True. So I don't know if that's going to be the storyline in a movie or whatever. I don't even know if he's going to have a symbiote because that's technically a Sony property. But I'm like,
still?
Like, huh?
Sony owns all of that still?
Yeah, don't they? Isn't that part of symbiotes or Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
That's why they were able to come up with Venom.
Yeah. The Gore character is a relatively new character. He was introduced in the Marvel Comics in the series Thor, God of Thunder in 2013. And basically, from the planet he was born on, he prayed to God to help his family, and his wife and children all died. So he went on to believe that gods didn't exist. And then when he found out about the gods of Asgard, basically he's mad and pissed because he was praying to God and they didn't help his family. So he wants to kill all gods now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, they couldn't hear him pray, so that's a thing. But here's some good information. We were talking about her last time, and it's confirmed Jamie Alexander will be returning as Lady Sif in this movie.
Good.
She showed up with something else too, and I didn't write it down.
I think they said she might be in Loki.
Yeah. Which is, I'm glad. I feel like she didn't get enough love in the earlier Thor movies. Yeah. So
my thing is, if she's in Loki, is this a different timeline, Lady Sif? Then
I don't know. Loki is jumping through timelines, so who knows?
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Ant-Man, Kang the Conqueror is confirmed to be the villain there in Ant-Man.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania?
Yeah. I was like, okay. Yes. Ant-Man tends to be funny, so I'm like, I'm going to watch it. But I'm like, I have no idea what they're trying to get at with this movie. It's kind of insane.
But it's more timeline mumbo-jumbo that they're doing.
More timeline mumbo-jumbo?
Mm-hmm. Because King the Conqueror is a guy who I know because I just watched this episode on Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Like I watched it yesterday, not even knowing about this. But he comes from the future.
Yeah.
And he kill them to preserve his future or some nonsense anyway. So it's kind of weird that Ant-Man is the one that's going to get tied into King the Conqueror.
Yeah. I don't know. People were saying it's going to be like there was a city in the quantum realm like you could see in Ant-Man 2, and they're thinking that that's going to be the city that King the Conqueror is from. I don't remember much about him. He was in our original Avengers cartoon we got when we were little. That really bad one that used all the heroes that nobody knows. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, like, I tried watching that. Whatever. Man, that cartoon is bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It is. It is bad. I mean, really bad.
But he also has like a 3-episode arc in Earth's Mightiest Hero. I just watched it.
Yeah, I think I remember watching. I haven't watched Earth's Mightiest Heroes in a while.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, they also recast Cassie too.
Yeah, I saw that. So she's recast like that. Why didn't they use the girl from Endgame?
I'm thinking it's just an age thing. Not gonna lie.
I was like, oh.
But it makes sense now, though, them using or wanting to bring in the Fantastic Four because Kang is supposed to be a descendant of Nathan Richards, unless they go about changing that story for the movie.
Let's not. You can't be jumping to the offspring of these people when we don't even have these people.
But he's from the future. I mean, just don't mention it in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have to. Or he can be listed as another character altogether. I mean, that wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, but this also eliminates another guess that people were saying that Kang might be the overarching villain of this, and apparently not if he's just going to be the villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp, so...
Which is weird. He seems so much
he's going to be depowered to be in that movie.
Yeah.
Right. Like Ant-Man, he has to show up in another movie because I don't know. I feel like he's too big of a villain.
He cannot defeat him by himself. Like, yeah, he's too big of a villain.
Yeah.
He's got to be way depowered.
Or maybe he's not the villain. They just said he was in the movie.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Thanos was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You got a point there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Because, I feel like Kang is an Avengers villain. Like, that's an Avengers level.
He's got to be.
Yeah. And then, like, this Ant-Man and the Wasp are her little stingers. Like, what's that supposed to do?
I feel like in MCU, the Wasp is better than Ant-Man.
She is.
Evangeline Lilly is way better than Ant-Man. All right. So we got that news with Black Panther. They will not be recasting him. I know there's been people on both sides of it. We were kind of on the side of not recasting him. Some people were like, oh, it's a disservice not to. But Marvel's saying, hey, no, we are not recasting Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. So
no more T'Challa then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only thing why I'm sad about it is then we're not going to get Black Panther and Storm.
Yeah.
True.
I kind of really want
it. And I wanted that, even though that's just a fantasy, like a movie fantasy, but that possibility of that happening is over.
Yeah. That kind of sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wanted that. But I mean, I'm glad they're not casting. I just feel like it was just something to me, like you just don't recast him. And I guess I am glad that they're going on with the movie. I don't know what it's going to be like without him being in it.
I don't know. It's got to be rewritten. They got to rewrite the script.
Yeah. Because they were already at the phase where they could start filming.
So, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I think you got to just completely change that story, right?
You got to change everything.
I think they're going to go with Shuri as Black Panther.
It makes the most sense.
It does make
it makes sense. because she is the Black Panther.
I like Shuri's character. I think she's a little bit too wiry for me to be Black Panther. But
honestly, I kind of don't want to see a Black Panther movie without
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, Ryan Coogler's still doing it.
Yeah.
Probably gonna have a killer soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it'll still be good. It'll be weird, but I'm sure it'll still be good.
Yeah. And probably have just a big tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
Also that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's coming out July 8th, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So,
wait,
not a long time from now.
No.
A year and a half.
Yeah. So I guess they don't get started on that. They have to.
Were you mentioning something, Daisy?
Yes. Before we talked about the trailers, I wasn't sure. Did we talk about Moon Knight?
No, I didn't have any information on it. We mentioned Moon Knight before. Was there new information?
I didn't write that down. The only thing that they said was going to be like an Indiana Jones type adventure.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
It's interesting. So, is this going to be in Egypt? I think he mentioned something about an Egyptian backdrop.
I believe it will take place in Egypt. Also interesting. I'm not an Indiana Jones fan. Granted, I will admit I've never seen an entire Indiana Jones movie.
You are not alone, Daisy. I have not either.
I don't think I've ever seen any of them. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any part of one outside of commercials. With that said, I think that's interesting and definitely a different feel from what like all the other stuff that's going on.
Yeah, definitely. That should be interesting. We didn't mention Fantastic Four. So they're going to be coming out with a Fantastic Four movie. They have confirmed they're working on it. What I thought was interesting was John Watts is going to be directing it, who is the director of the Spider-Man movies. So it kind of tells us the kind of movie we can expect for the Fantastic Four, which I actually think is a good fit. I feel like the style of movie John Watts has come out with for Spider-Man is a good fit for the Fantastic Four.
Well, the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man are the same tonally.
Yeah.
It's really lighthearted, really family friendly, and I feel like the Fantastic Four has to stay in that lane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have a dark. Well, we've seen what a dark Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, it's not what the character is. So it makes the most sense that they're following that same kind of tone, and with John Watts, what he's did with the Spider-Man movies, kind of makes sense to do the same thing with the Fantastic Four. I am disappointed that it's like, the Fantastic Four, only because I'm not a Fantastic Four fan, and we could have waited like 10 years before they showed up. Saying.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. But all right, let's get into some trailers. Let's talk about WandaVision first. What did y'all think about the trailer, the WandaVision trailer?
So interesting. I feel like it has a lot of questions, but I do want to start off with just what they're doing and how it's kind of based off of different decades and sitcoms. Like it starts off in the 50s and it's black and white, and they have the traditional things that's going on, like the couples can't be in the same bed. Then you see them in the 70s. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And even like how they shot it, they kind of shot it the same way those shows were shot.
I think even the aspect ratio.
Yeah. What, 4:3?
Yeah, 4:3.
Yeah. So I want to say shout out to Marvel to even add that so it can have that same tone in there. So that was pretty good, pretty interesting. I feel like there's a lot of questions, like a lot of things where we're saying are they trapped in this weird reality, or is she doing it and not knowing that she's the one that's causing all of these issues?
Yeah, she's doing it. I think she's starting to learn that she's doing it, but I think she's being manipulated by people.
By who?
Well, here is one thing that I gleaned from it with the subtitles on the. I don't know how else to describe it, but in the trailer there was a black guy in one scene.
So the internet said might be the High Evolutionary.
That's what I was saying, because his name, the closed captioning named him Herb, which Herbert Wyndham is the High Evolutionary, which would be a good fit for this area. And we know you have Agnes, which is probably Agatha Harkness. Maybe they're working together to manipulate Wanda.
But now, didn't Agnes seem a little confused in part of the trailer?
She did. And that's what confused me. I was like, okay, but she seems like she's being controlled in this as well. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe Wanda just flipped a switch. I don't know.
I'm thinking Wanda snapped, created this fake world, but it's like fracturing, you know, I don't know, she doesn't concentrate hard enough or something. Then you have the FBI on the outside trying to reach in, and then she's tripping. Because even then, she's like, this is our home. Then Vision's like, well, we need to defend it. Then I'm like, yo, this is not a real place.
Yeah.
So maybe she wants to defend her fake reality?
And it was this interesting scene. I think it was only a few frames, but like you saw like the Mind Stone coming back together. Like she definitely recreated Vision.
Yeah.
And interesting point somebody made out was her powers came from the Infinity Stones. And just because it came from the Mind Stone doesn't mean it was the Mind Stone powers. Obviously, her brother showed two different powers. And they were like, look at Pietro. He had the Space Stone powers, which is why he was able to move fast. He left a blue streak, everything. Her powers are red. She alters reality. She has the Reality Stone powers. And people like her and Captain Marvel, which I don't know. I guess Captain Marvel's Power Stone. I don't know. Captain Marvel's weird. But like... So since she has the Reality Stone and she has the energy of the Infinity Stone, she could potentially recreate it the same way she was able to destroy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, because otherwise, how does she bring Vision back?
Yeah.
Especially since in this series, Vision was created with the Mind Stone.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, obviously she creates her children in this and everything. This show's gonna be crazy. Like this is gonna be insane.
But it does seem very interesting. I'm like, the trailer doesn't. I don't know. It leaves you questions than answers. But
yeah.
Then we got to think too. No. It is also a trailer, so we're getting shown bits and pieces of things too.
True.
Purposely. For it not to make sense. So, I mean, we're speculating on things that may not have any connection.
If one thing, I mean, like we should learn by now, Marvel trailers don't tell you anything.
Well, a lot of times, what's in the trailer don't be even in the movie at all.
I feel like they just shoot scenes to be in the trailer.
I do think they do that.
Like what Infinity War is.
I do find it interesting to have Darcy and Jimmy Woo as characters on this show too.
Well, Darcy makes sense if they're messing with, like, you know, she's a scientist or whatever, and if they discover this, because I think it looks like there's like a red dome over something, so maybe they get Darcy in to figure out what's going on, and then you realize it's Wanda, messing with reality. Mm-hmm. So Darcy showing up to me makes sense. Well, I mean, he's a government agent, so that makes sense.
Well, this agency is SWORD that they have outside.
Oh, that is SWORD?
It is SWORD.
So, okay. So he got a promotion. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess he went from the FBI to SWORD, and then Darcy, I mean, she's a prime candidate for SWORD, right? So.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you need a scientist, something. I'm guessing Monica Rambeau, what goes undercover inside of it.
Yeah.
But then loses her mind while she's in there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's probably the case. So I'm interested to see. This is the first series we are going to see, right? That's this January 15th.
January 15th.
That's in a month.
Yeah.
Yep. The official date. Yep. January 15th.
All right. So I'm excited to see that. We'll see that come up. I guess we can move on to the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So my first question is, does Sebastian Stan look better with long hair or short hair?
Long hair.
Long hair?
Next question.
Okay.
I was like, I think Daisy needs to answer that question.
I don't know. At first I was like, man, he looks so different. Then I was like, oh, that's right. His hair's not long. But okay, so what y'all think about this trailer?
Very interesting. I feel like there's a lot going on and a lot of speculation on like different things being introduced in here. What I don't know, and this was just internet speculation, but I think it would be kind of interesting if they touch on it. When they're saying like Sam seems a little bit hesitant to take over being Captain America, and part of it might be because the government's like, it's not up to you, which is why they have U.S. agent.
Yeah, I saw they have a U.S. agent. He has the shield that Cap gave to Sam. So I'm like, first of all, how would first they showed it in a museum? I'm like, how did it get there? And then why does U.S. agent have it? Like, this was directly given to Sam. Like, it's his.
And the government is probably saying Captain America is government property.
Man.
Probably.
I thought Captain America was a fugitive.
Yeah, but he also saved the world. Okay, so, true.
So, yeah. Also, I think I mentioned before, this shield is a different shield. It's not the same shield that Captain America used throughout the MCU.
Yeah.
It is the same one that he handed to Sam at the end of the movie, at the end of Endgame, but it's not the same shield he had.
Throughout the whatever, how many 20 movies we had or whatever.
Yeah, not the one that was broken.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense since it was broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of interesting questions. I do like Sam's wings and stuff, the colors and stuff I think look good on it rather than
it looks good. Like he finally got like a really decent uniform.
Yeah, rather than just like a parachute pack with wings attached to it.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I'm interested to see their banter. I think these two characters you were mentioning earlier about the chemistry, I think these two definitely have a good chemistry with each other, so I'm interested in seeing them work together.
Yeah, I mean, before I even knew what the show was about, I'm like, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm all in. So,
yeah, and you got Zemo in here. They had a little shot of Sokovia in there. Like, I guess there's just a gravestone on Sokovia.
It's probably like Sokovia is nothing but a pile of rocks right now, so it's probably the only thing left. Zemo's in it, which I don't know. I don't think Zemo's gonna be the bad guy, really.
No, I think there was a scene where it looked like they were working with him.
Yeah, especially since they have the Flag Smashers. Had to look that up.
Yeah. There
also French dude, the Leaper. I forget his full name.
Yeah, he's
supposed to be.
Yeah.
The same actor that played in the Captain America movie is supposed to be him.
Yeah, I think there's speculation they're going to be setting up the Thunderbolts, which is headed up by Zemo, because one of the Flag Smashers, people are speculating that she's Songbird. I don't know a lot about her, but she's also a part of the Thunderbolts. So there's like a lot of connections being made there.
Yeah, that's what people say.
Yeah, I got Songbird mixed up with Mockingbird when she was in Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought that was the same character, but it's two different characters.
No. Yeah. Songbird actually has powers, I think.
Yes, she does.
Mockingbird is just a
lady. Kind of like Black Canary from DC, I think.
Is it? Okay. I don't know. I don't know her powers at all.
I think I'm... Yeah.
Yeah, I think Derek's right about that. Because now the Flag Smasher is one person in the comics, kind of like a throwaway villain for Captain America.
Yeah.
But it seems like in here that is kind of like a terrorist group, I guess.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
But it also looked like they were working with him for a second. So I'm all confused. I have no idea what's going on.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell who's doing what when they're fighting each other on top of a train or whatever, a cargo ship or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, there was some other speculations about these, which I thought was interesting. That apparently there is a biker gang with the old gun symbol. I am probably mispronouncing that.
Uh-huh.
And they said that person is a Wolverine villain in the comics. And that they also believe that they showed the fictional island of Madripoor. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, in
Madripoor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which also has
That's the place
links.
that he goes to all the time.
Also has links to Wolverine. So people believe that that is probably going to set up Weapon X.
All right,
Not
so
Oh,
I don't know. I still stand by my notion that they should not introduce Wolverine, but whatever.
Well, you can have Weapon X. Well, you just need Weapon X to create people.
yeah.
You don't need Wolverine. You just need Weapon X. So you can get X3.
Well, why is they called Weapon X and he's called Weapon X because he was number 10?
Well,
because they were Roman numerals. X is 10. Come on, dude.
And it's X-Men, so everything had to have an X in it. That's why.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
I was just like, as being an adult, I was like, that makes no sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Yes, Roman numeral 10 is X. Mm-hmm. He was the 10th one.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that, but why are they called Weapon X?
Who's Weapon L?
No one, because he destroyed everything.
Haven't got that
far. All right. Well, there is a Weapon V, though, right? Who's Weapon V?
Someone that's dead because they all died.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they fell. Okay, yeah. He was the first one that worked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay, so yeah, a few things. You got Wilson family seafood, so it means you got that shrimp boat going on with all the shrimp.
Which means we're gonna get some background on Falcon. We didn't need background on Falcon, but okay, if you're giving it to us, that's fine.
Also, I just wanted to mention in this trailer, Falcon flew under a truck, and I wanted to mention how he would immediately die.
That's true in every movie ever. We're just gonna let them have it.
Okay.
Just let them have it.
You can't fly under a truck. The truck is breaking all the air. There's no lifts. He would get under there and hit the ground.
Yeah, just like in fact, they can't drive those cars underneath the trucks
let them have it.
But all right, fine. Just saying, okay. Cool. Yeah, so that's what I had there. Anything other interesting thing? I think the action looks pretty good in this.
It looks really good. I think it probably looks the best out of all the three that they showed us. Mm-hmm. There was some other speculations on whether or not they were going to touch on like the racial aspects of Captain America. I don't know. I mean, if this was a movie, I would say definitely, but this is Disney, and I don't know if they're going to touch on it or not.
What? Like, is it a problem with him being black?
Not even that, but there was a storyline that came out in 2013, is it? And basically, it kind of mirrors what happened with the Tuskegee soldiers, where the U.S. government was experimenting on African American soldiers.
Oh yeah, so, wasn't there a you got another Captain America out of that, didn't you?
Yeah, but basically, they were using African American soldiers and experimenting with the super soldier serum. We're saying it might be another reason why Sam is kind of reluctant to take over the mantle.
I think they are, because I think before they mentioned there's going to be a character in this that is like the grandson of one of those people you were talking about.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's a very interesting story to pursue. I'm not sure if Disney will do it.
We'll see.
It's kind of deep.
It's true. Very true. Well, they let Pixar do Zootopia.
Yeah, but only adults got that. I was talking about race.
Okay. All right then. Cool. We'll see what they come up with there. I'm definitely interested in this. This is coming out March 19th, 2021. So immediately after WandaVision ends, most likely we'll get Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So I'm down for that. Let's talk Loki.
This one was confusing.
Yeah,
there's a lot of time shenanigans.
Definitely a lot of time shenanigans. So we saw Loki escape in Endgame, and so now we have this whole series. Now he doesn't just get to do what he wants. Apparently, he got arrested by the Time Variance Authority because he's a man out of time now, right? Because he's supposed to be dead because Thanos killed him. I think he was shown his death in this trailer. If you notice, like, they brought him in and they were showing him a bunch of stuff. One of the things they showed him was from Thor Ragnarok, meaning they're showing him things from his life that he didn't live yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they get him to work with them. You know what they're saying? It's like, look, this is your future, so help us out, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll end up dead.
Yeah. But there's a few things in there. One, they had that scene with him on the plane. Apparently, there was a person named D.B. Cooper, or that's the name they gave him, who hijacked a plane, got paid, and parachuted off and never was caught.
Like, is that not the most amazing movie story thing you ever heard of in your life?
Right? I was like, what? This happened for real?
It's like, I was like, oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, and so, yes, it definitely looks like directly out of a D.B. Cooper type thing.
Yeah, because he was on. I think they're saying D.B. Cooper was Loki in this universe. So he got it, he got the money, he jumped off, and then he bifrosted out. And so they never caught him.
That's kind of cool because, I mean, come on. In like 1960, you couldn't catch this guy? Like, where did he go?
I don't know. I'm like, where? But he got away.
He just didn't have the technology that we have now where they could have followed him where he went with the parachute.
Well,
you're talking about
they wasn't expecting a guy to jump out of a plane either.
Yeah, I think they probably were just waiting at the airport for it to land. And he wasn't on the plane. So, yeah. So there's that. So that makes me think we're going to be seeing like Loki do a lot of unexplained disappearances of people, you know, in our history. You'll get a lot of that.
That would be cool that a lot of it would be based off of like unsolved things that happened in real life. But in the movie, they just tying all of it to Loki. That's why it's unsolved.
Yeah. And I think you're getting a lot of like alternate realities too. You saw him with the Loki for president thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever was going on there. So yeah, a lot of mystery.
There was a destroyed New York City there. So there's a lot going on in there.
Yeah, Owen Wilson's in here, and I was like, he looks
completely. Yeah, and he's still a villain because he didn't go through everything through Ragnarok and Dark World.
Loki has never not been a villain. We just like him.
True. Well, in Ragnarok, he wasn't a villain.
In Ragnarok, he was not a villain.
He betrayed Thor the first chance he got.
True. But that's Loki.
So he was never not the villain.
Okay. True.
Rumor has it Owen Wilson is playing Mobius M. Mobius, not confirmed. If you look at the IMDb for that show, like everyone's name is basically blank but Loki's.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think the subtitles did have him called Mobius and Mobius right there. But in doing some research with the Time Variance Authority, a lot of the people are just clones. So that Owen Wilson might have been Mobius and Mobius doesn't mean that he's not playing another character in the show because they're all clones. So yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to know a very comic booky name. Mobius M. Mobius. Seriously?
I think that actually is a scientific thing that has to do with time, of course, because if you remember Tony Stark to solve the time thing.
He had that loopy thing,
and when I looked up Mobius and Mobius, the character wasn't the first thing that came up. So I was like, oh, I think this is actually a time thing. Hold on. I'm going to look it up again. I used to make Mobius strips in school. Pretty cool.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. It's still a very comic booky name.
Yeah, scholarly articles for Mobius and Mobius. So I'm like, what is that? What does that mean? Okay, but anyhow, I have no idea what it means, but craziness. What else? Oh, the courtroom faces. Like when he was in the courtroom, they had faces on the wall. Mm-hmm. People are saying that could be the faces of the living Ty Bruno. You know, it's like a 3-faced thing.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think of that.
And especially since he judges people, right? Because there was supposed to be a scene in Endgame. It was deleted or they never shot it, like it was cut from the movie. Where Doctor Strange, when he was fighting Thanos, he sent him through the multiverse, and it was this thing where Thanos got judged by the Living Tribunal.
Okay. So you're thinking he gets judged by that? He works for the time variance people to catch a time fugitive, and then that is how he survives if he does this for them?
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the main plot. Of course, Loki's going to be Loki and try and, double cross them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's going to be the thing. At the end of the day, he's got to help them in order to get his freedom.
Yeah. Very interesting. God, this show is intriguing, to say the least. I kind of think like how in WandaVision, there's a lot going on, but really don't know what it is.
Yeah, true. So I'm excited for Loki. I'm excited for Falcon. All the TV shows, basically. I'm like, I want to see what they're about. Definitely want to see what they're about.
Only 1 month to go.
Yeah. We could start with WandaVision.
And that's said in May. There's no confirmed date yet, but they said May.
That's in
whenever May. Falcon and Winter Soldier end.
Right. Well, Falcon and Winter Soldier has to end, and then Black Widow, right?
Yeah, but these shows aren't really connected, so it's fine.
Yeah, I think what they're doing is there is technically no time without Marvel content.
Yeah. Well, I know what Disney Plus is doing is that when one show ends, another begins. So basically, so you can't cancel it.
Yeah.
Is what they're doing.
Yeah, because they got like 10 Star Wars TV shows they're working on or something like that.
Yeah, they had a trailer for it, but I'm like, I don't know about no Star Wars.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Star Wars trailers. I
watched it. I didn't. It did nothing for me.
Okay. Speaking of that,
I didn't watch it.
I have other news.
With Loki too.
Oh wait, we didn't talk about the What If cartoon.
Oh yeah, they didn't show much. I mean, they had that trailer.
They had a whole trailer for it. I mean, there's nothing to it. It's basically what if. You know what I mean? It's just made up stuff. But that is the summer of 2021.
2021. Okay, next year. Yeah. Okay. I was excited for that. I want to see some of the different stuff. Of course, we had Captain Britain, Peggy Carter.
Mm-hmm.
She was given a super soldier serum.
It looks like Yondu kidnapped someone from which is interesting to say the least.
That is very by Chadwick Boseman.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So his last Marvel work.
Did y'all see that these episodes for the shows are only 6 episodes long?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
6 hour long episodes. Well, they said they're going to be like 6 hour movies, basically.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. I did have some other news besides Marvel. We mentioned the Star Wars stuff. One was interesting. Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman, is doing the Rogue Squadron movie for Star Wars. So she's moving on over to Disney here. Disney Plus is raising its prices by $1.
Definitely saw that coming.
Yep. So there's that. It's now $8 a month and $14 for the bundle. You can get a no ads thing, but no. Although, wait, no, I think I have no ads on Hulu. Does that count? Oh, man.
My Hulu has ads. So wait, how much is that going to cost me?
What, the bundle? You got a bundle?
Yeah. Because I already had a Hulu,
14,
so...
14 altogether.
14?
You're paying more than that now.
I'm not paying more than that.
Not more than that. You're paying like 13 now. What are you complaining about?
I don't know how much it is. I don't never look at my...
If it's both, it's got to be like 13.
I don't think it is.
It wasn't less than that for both.
Well, I already said I don't know how much it's costing me.
All right. Pixar's doing a Lightyear movie about the actual Buzz Lightyear that the toy was supposed to be based on.
Right, I saw that. Like a prequel thing. I think that's kind of interesting. Like a little Buzz Lightyear adventure before he becomes a toy.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So
I'll watch that
out. Chris Evans is playing Buzz Lightyear.
What?
Yes.
Didn't he get Tim Allen? Tim Allen done graduated from Buzz Lightyear?
I guess so. Well, it's the real one, right? So it doesn't have to be voiced by Tim Allen.
I still want Tim Allen to do it.
Okay. There's going to be an Alien TV series coming out for FX, and it's being run by the Legion showrunner.
So super weird is what you're saying.
And probably creepy.
An Alien TV series? Like, what is that like?
A scary movie every week.
I mean, I'm always down for aliens. I love those movies, but
yeah,
that I can't picture.
I could check it out. If it's FX, does that show up on Hulu then?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
All right then. Yeah, I could check that out. My last bit of news that I had for the week is a bit of a rant from me. But apparently a bunch of Warner Brothers directors are complaining about the direct-to streaming. We saw Christopher Nolan said, I forgot what it was, but it was kind of dirty. Like he killed him. I forgot what he said. But he said something. Now the Dune director is saying something. Patty Jenkins says she agrees with Christopher Nolan. Here's my thing. Warner Brothers is not saying that forever their movies will be coming out on streaming. They're trying to do this because of the current pandemic. And my question is, what do you want them to do? These directors that's complaining, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to sit on your movie for another year, year and a half before it comes out in theaters? Or do you want to force it out in theaters like Tenet and not make the money that you're supposed to make on it?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. Like, I get what they're saying. Like, these should be shown in the movie theater. You are absolutely correct. It should be. But my thing is like, Christopher Nolan, were you happy with how Tenet did when half the world didn't see your movie?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be satisfied with that. So I feel like, and like you said, this is, Warner Brothers said this is a temporary thing. We know this is a temporary thing. This is just because they have to. They got to get some money off of this because they got another slate of movies that has to be released in the theaters.
Yeah, and so they can't wait again. They've already waited a year.
Yeah, so I don't get it. And I just feel like, to me, Christopher Nolan, for everyone, is like, for you to be complaining about this after your movie made no money, no one's seen it. Like, I feel like, what are you really complaining about? Like, right. Yes, these are movies that should be experienced in the movie theater, but right now that can't happen. So I really don't understand what your beef is.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I was like, that was super annoying to see because, and it makes me think that he's probably the one pushing for it not to be shown at the drive-ins. Because y'all remember that Tenet, they didn't allow it to be shown at the drive-ins. For what? Do you not think your movie, you think your movie's too good for a drive-in or whatever? I don't understand.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But then that, in reading their comments, to me, like what he was saying just didn't make any sense. And I was just like, what is your point? It was a ramble, but I didn't really get his point.
Yeah, I mean, look, blockbusters are always going to be in the theater. Like, there's no way you have a movie like Endgame or Black Widow that's coming out, or Wonder Woman or the Batman movie, and that doesn't come out in theaters in the future. Even no matter how theaters are doing, like, that's something people want to go see as an event. We know that, right? But like, at this current circumstance, what are you complaining about? Like, just be happy your movie's gonna make some money.
Yeah. I don't really get it because, like you said, like, these are movies that, like, I'll go and pay for to see without a doubt. Like, not in a pandemic, if you gave me an option between going to the movie theater and seeing it at home, I would go to the movie theater.
Yeah. And because some would, even if it was on streaming at the same time, most people would go to the theater. It's not going to hurt their pockets.
Yeah, so I really didn't really get it, and I'm guessing he gets probably some percentage of the profits or whatever, but seeing how that Tenet only made like $50 million in the US, I feel like you might want to let it be shown on another platform.
Yeah, and especially since that was since what? August?
Yeah, did they do that in August?
Yeah. It hasn't made money, and it's not going to. Like, And not that it was a bad movie. Apparently, the critics think it's good.
Yeah.
So
it's just people. If people don't have the opportunity to see it, the two biggest movie markets in the U.S. are still closed. Like, dude.
yeah, so like that makes no sense. Also, like a lot of them saying like it's a bad financial decision, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Christopher Nolan, you're not the movie studio, and I know movie studios make stupid financial decisions sometimes, right? But like I don't know. I wouldn't ask a director how to market my movie and what's the best way to put it out on, you know? Like, because you're a director, you're good at directing, not getting a movie out to audiences and making money.
And then right now is not a bad marketing decision, because right now, for every month that Warner Brothers doesn't release a movie, is money that they're losing.
Yeah.
So right now, it makes the most sense, because right now, come in 2 weeks, how many millions of people are going to sign up for HBO?
Yeah, definitely.
A lot.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. And that's what I think that's what he mentioned. He said it's the worst streaming service, that people thought they were working for the best studio, and then it turns out they're working for the worst streaming service, which is like, fine, nobody's getting HBO Max, but guess what? They are for Wonder Woman.
Right. They are. They're going to do it for Wonder Woman. They're going to do it for I was going to say the Fantastic Four, for Fast and the Furious. They're going to do it so they can finally see Tenet.
Yeah.
And okay.
Yeah. And the thing is, they already know that they're going to lose. They are already lost money.
Yeah.
They lost money this year anyway.
Yeah.
So you made an interesting point where it says like they have to have these movies come out anyway, because they're sitting on movies at this point. It's already counted as a loss. So
right, and then you figure there's still movies that they have to release in 2022 and in 2021. And unlike Disney, Disney only has 4 movies they got to move. Warner Brothers got to move like 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, movies are shot sometimes 3, 4, 5 years in advance.
And the reason why I think Disney isn't doing this with their movies for like Marvel and Star Wars and stuff is because they have the Disney Plus TV series. So they can still get that draw and make the money while the series is coming out, and they don't have to force their movies onto the streaming.
That is, Disney has less movies too.
Yeah.
Right, so Disney can afford. You figure, okay.
And let's face it, if it's continuing on for a long period of time, you're going to be left with no choice but to release these movies on Disney.
Think about it, Disney Plus already did it. Now, they didn't do it with their blockbuster movies, but they did it with Hamilton. They did it with a few of their animated cartoons. And so they've already done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they already did it. So they're not doing it with their Marvel movies, but you figure they said, okay, fine. Instead of 3 Marvel movies, we're going to release 4 within a year.
And you know, that's
so
funny.
They can do that.
It's funny that it's all this stuff is coming up about Warner Brothers, but you're right. Universal and Disney already has done this.
Yeah.
And the directors and stuff haven't complained to them. What's up with Warner Brothers directors?
I don't know. They smoking their own coffee. Who knows? Just
because this has happened already. It happened earlier in the year with Trolls or whatever. That's Universal, right?
Yeah. I believe so.
Yeah, they were like, oh well, just release it, you know. And then Mulan, you mentioned some of the animated Disney movies. I think there's one coming out soon that's going to be released on
Soul, I believe. They're gonna drop that Christmas, I believe.
So none of the actors or directors are complaining about that. Yeah, and then you're the director, you're not a producer or anything. Like, I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't understand why he has such a big stake in this.
I mean, like you said, I guess he gets a percentage of the movie, but like it can't be that big. Like he definitely got a base pay, you know, for directing the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it's breaking his pocket.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, the other option is that it doesn't come out, which is something that Warner Brothers can't do. Because Warner Brothers has probably, 12 movies being released in a year? You can't shuffle that lineup around like that.
Yeah, and then you can't push all those movies back, and you can't just be like, okay, well, the 2020 and 2021 movies are all going to come out this year. You can't do that because then you don't make money because you cut into each other's profit.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't know. I think they need not complain. Look at the circumstance and just roll with it. Like that's I think it's ignorant.
It's a temporary thing. They said it was a temporary thing. Like,
And
I don't
know. I think what makes me most upset about it is the fact that it's December, right? Like, if this was February and Warner Brothers said this, I mean, I would still agree with Warner Brothers, but if the directors complained about it, I'd be like, okay, I can see your side on it, right? But like, dude, it's been almost a year. Like, what else do you need? Like, I don't understand. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, Warner Bros. Is really not doing what else has done. They came out and said, like, hey, this is only temporary, which is just because they lost a year of movies, basically. I don't get it. Like, I don't know. I mean, because they already lost money and like they're losing money, but this way they get some money.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it plays out. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make money. I don't think HBO is gonna keep its base once they're not coming out with movies on it. But like I'm pretty sure it's gonna make money. We'll see this Christmas, I guess, when Wonder Woman comes out.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure you're gonna get a massive sign up for HBO. And if they're releasing their whole lineup, it's gonna be basically about what, one new movie a month?
Pretty much. It keeps people on.
Well, not me. Well, I mean, I only want to see like 3 of the movies that they're releasing, so I cancel and come back.
We're doing a business one, and no, the business isn't keeping. We only sign up when we need to watch something.
Exactly. So you cancel and come back.
Yeah, I don't want HBO Max. No reason to have it.
Nope. Not at all.
That's all the news I had.
Oh yeah, I think that covers everything.
Yeah. Big news day. I was not expecting that. We had to change our plans for today's episode, but I'm definitely excited for what's to come with Marvel. A little nervous about it, but still excited. So we'll see how well all this stuff is when it comes out. 2021 is going to be exciting if we actually get the movies, but we do still have the TV shows coming out. So yeah. With that being said, if you want to reach out to us, you can. We are on Facebook. It's facebook.com/3drivals. You can also email us 3drivals@gmail.com. And we're on Twitter. It's 3_rivals on Twitter. Other than that, thanks so much for listening, guys. Peace out.